We are so happy to welcome in Ryan Drenner and Joe Seider, two of the greatest players in Towson lacrosse history. Now, first of all, for you two guys, Ryan, you played in Carroll County in high school. Joe, you played at Hereford. How much did your paths cross growing up in youth lacrosse or even in high school if you ever played against each other?
Yeah,
you want to take that?
Yeah, for sure. It was actually funny. I guess the first time we knew that we were playing with each other was at the Under Armour underclassmen games. We were both playing for Team Baltimore. But once we get to know each other a little bit better and talking about our youth lacrosse experiences as freshmen in college, we found out that we had played together against each other in rec. And actually, the game that I played against Hereford, all I remember from that experience, I was playing goalie. It was the first time that I had played goalie because our goalie was out of town or something. But I stepped up for that week to play the first half of the game. And I remember these two giants on the other team who, it turned out to be Joe and Jack. And I was like, man, these Hereford kids, I remember they got the ball off the face-off and scored within the first 10 seconds of the game. And I was like, well, my goalie career is not working out so well right now. But definitely a funny experience to, not realize it at the time. But then, once we got to college and started talking about our playing careers and our experiences at the youth level, found out that those guys took me out of the goalie position.
Well, you two guys had two of the greatest careers in Towson history. Joe, you and Glenn Smith, the only two guys to ever lead the team in goals scored all 4 seasons. And you actually passed Glenn with most shots ever taken, and you're second to Glenn in all-time goals. And Ryan, you're 8th all-time in points with 172, 7th all-time in assists. And you just look back at your 4 years. You started off your first year 8-7, lost in the first round of the CAA tournament, but then you win 3 straight CAA championships. You go to Notre Dame after beating High Point in your sophomore year, and then lose a tough one to Notre Dame where the ref screwed you. I don't care what anybody says. 16-3, lose to Loyola out at Ohio State, and then the magical season where you got to the Final Four. When you guys came in freshmen, what was the feeling in the program then, and how did that grow over 4 years?
I think it's cliche to say, but I think what Coach Nadalin really did at Towson and his mentality and the blue-collar nature of the school overall and just our lacrosse team, he really focused on becoming hardworking men, doing the right thing. And as cliche as it is, I think that the reason that we developed and grew as players and as a team and we got to that success in our career was because everyone on our team bought into that kind of mentality. And I think that just meshed us so well together because, as anyone would say, it's not about the players, it's about the team. And I think Naz did an incredible job kind of honing in on why we should be focusing on what we should be focusing on. And I think obviously it took us to different levels. So Coach Naz is a big reason for that.
Yeah. Ryan, how many of Joe's goals do you think you assisted on?
I don't know. It's probably a good majority. I would hope. Because we had lived together and we always talked about, if I took a shot, he would let me know back at the room, if you just keep your head up, I'm wide open right there. So I would say it's probably a vast majority. Kind of our bread and butter was me coming up from behind the goal and just throwing it right forward to him. And I think that's a lot of our production came from that play right there.
How much easier was it your senior year after you guys had been together for you? I would assume that after 4 years, you probably knew each move each guy was going to make.
Yeah, it definitely made it a lot easier, especially with our connection off the field. Like I said, we lived together. We spent pretty much all of our free time together. And so building that chemistry off the field helps you, like you said, we just knew where each other was by that time in our senior year. We played so much together that it was kind of like second nature when we were out there playing.
Joe, probably the play that has been on social media more than ever is the goal you scored against Syracuse up in the left-hand corner. What do you remember about that play?
I remember when I released it, I really had a strong feeling it was going in. It just, when it's like any shooter, you could just know when it's released, you have a really good feeling. I didn't think it was going to hit the corner like that, but incredible feeling. It was so hard to understand how cool just the overall experience that whole run was at the time. Looking back on it, I'm just so thankful for it. But that actually brings me, I was going to mention about Drenner and our assist, his assist to me. I think that he definitely assisted the majority of my goals, or at least a vast majority from other, if it was an assisted goal, he was probably the big player in that. But even more than that, even that goal, I think it's more of what he does with the ball that got me opportunities. In that case, he was coming from X, drawing attention, moved the ball one time. He didn't get the assist, but the Bolwick, he passed it to me, which obviously I got the shot, and Bolwick got that assist. But I think if you include the hockey assist in lacrosse, I think Drenner would probably have 90% of my goals.
Real quick, got to shout out Matt Wiley for the off-ball pick on that
100%.
play too.
Oh, it's 100%.
Coach Gallardi would definitely appreciate us giving credit to Matt Wiley for that
And
one.
it's well-deserved.
There you go. Was that Syracuse game the culmination, you think, of your guys' career to get to the Final Four?
I think so. I think going back to your previous question about us building each year, when we would lose our freshman year, we lost in the CA semifinals. And obviously that's disappointing, but at the same time, we were hungry to just get back to work. It was going to be a quick summer. We're right back at it in the fall. And so it was great to be able to build every single year. We were hungry to keep taking steps forward in the NCAA tournament. And I think, everything came together for us in that Syracuse game. We had a really good day shooting. Our shots were getting past their goalie, and we were playing really, really great defense. Yeah. Matt Hoy stood on his head that entire season, but especially in the playoff run that we had. And so, yeah, it seemed like everything was clicking. And we definitely rolled that into the Final Four game. It's just, a couple bounces didn't go our way in that game, and things shifted quickly. But yeah, like you said, that Syracuse game kind of put together all the pieces that we had all been working on, especially our class, that senior class. I think that game against Syracuse, we had a lot of senior leadership and contribution to that game, and so it was a really good day for us.
The other big game was when you went out to Denver. They were number 2 in the country, and you beat them. That was a huge moment in your careers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, that I would say the Hopkins game our sophomore year, the first time we beat Hopkins in, I forget how long, was it like 17 years or something like that? It was a long time since we beat Hopkins. And then our sophomore year, we had a tough season. Freshman year, we come back. We beat Hopkins at home. Incredible experience. And I think at that point, and we've always talked about this, every game that we played from then on out, it wasn't a feeling of like, oh my gosh, I don't know if we're going to win this. It's when we went to Denver, we truly thought that we were going to beat Denver. So it wasn't like or the Syracuse game. Everyone in our locker room, especially the seniors, we truly thought that there was no way that they could beat us. And I think it's like the game that set that up was, I think, that Hopkins game that just gave us so much confidence. Like, wow, we can actually play with the best in the country. Every other game after that was, we truly think we're going to win.
It was actually 23 years since Towson had beaten Hopkins.
23. Yeah.
And I was there for all of them. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being with us. I hope you guys are making out okay during the pandemic. We wish the best to your families, both of you. One of the reasons Towson Lacrosse is great is the parents, and you guys both, your parents were phenomenal, and always a pleasure to be around, and we really thank you for doing this.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Great to see you.
Yeah.
All right.
It.
Great to see you guys again. Stay safe. Thank you.